Good morning and welcome to Peace Out, where we are all learning together to peace out. I love that. I love that I'm not in this alone and that there's a bunch of us that want to figure out how to just trust God for one more day, which is really what piecing out is all about. Not letting the voices out there distract us from His goodness, from His mercies, from His grace, from His love, because we have so many voices trying to distract us today. And I know I've just been saying this a lot lately, but that's what the enemy wants to do. He can't make anything God gave us go away, but he can distract us from it so we don't reap the benefit, right? So it's a good time to just refocus on what God's given us, what God's done for us, who we are in Christ. We got to constantly just keep refocusing. And for me, that's all day, every day, right? So many things going on in this world, so many things going on in our lives, so many voices going out who do you listen to? Who's telling the truth? Who's not? We got to love the truth, even if it hurts our feelings. That's something I thought of this morning. I want to love the truth, even if it hurts my feelings, even if it's against what I want to do. I want to know the truth because Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life, right? So with that in mind, I bet you thought we were going to get out of Psalm 143, but we're not. We're still in Psalm 143, and we're going to talk about one verse. I was actually going to do the next 4 verses, but I got stuck in a good kind of way. So here's what we've already talked about in Psalm 143. We talked about in our prayers, redirecting our prayers, the attention of our prayers from our situations and our problems and our circumstances to who God is, to our answer, right? Answer me, oh God, because you are faithful and righteous. We did that in verse 1. Yesterday we talked about verse 6. What is today? Today's Wednesday. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yesterday we talked about verse 6, which was David's talking about how hard it is. And I love that God let that be in the Bible, because we put these guys up on pedestals and we forget that they're humans, and we forget that they have emotions and that they have situations and that they went through some stuff. We forget that, we could read a story and not be emotionally invested in that story. But we look at David's story. He ran from Saul all those years when God had already anointed him king. He was in a tough spot. It had to look crazy to him, right? He's like, God anointed me king. Why is this happening? This doesn't match what God said. How many times do we get ourselves in situations or find ourselves in situations where what is going on doesn't match what we know God said? It can be frustrating, and we forget that they had emotions, they had lives, they had loved ones, they had all these things. And David pours it out here, talks about his enemy being overwhelmed, and don't let me be, overtaken by the enemy and all this. And he says, then in verse 6, it says, I reach for you. That's the key. That was the key, right? And so if we go on down a little bit, he goes on down, and he in verse 6, 8, 9, 10, and 11, or 8, 9, and 10, there's so much action in these 3 verses, but I stopped on verse 8. I was going to talk about all 3 verses. We'll do that tomorrow, okay? So if you want to, go read Psalm 143 today and just see what you can get, what you can glean, what you can meditate on out of Psalm 143. So in verse 8, it says, let me hear your unfailing love in the morning, for I am trusting you. I am trusting you. That's a declaration. This is never going to change. I will trust you, God, period. And that's where we have to get our hearts. But I love that he said, let me hear your unfailing love in the morning. Why? Why did he say that? Why did he say, let me hear that in the morning? Because that's what we need. I need to know when I wake up, God's been awake. And so is the devil. They both been working while I've been asleep, right? And trying to orchestrate things against me and for me. And I want to wake up in the morning and be reminded that his unfailing love is still there. That is what Lamentations 3 is about, where he says the unfailing love of the Lord never ends. Lamentations 3:22. By his mercies we've been kept from complete destruction. Great is his faithfulness. Let's see, what verse is it? But he says his mercies are new every single morning. It says in Lamentations 3, his mercies are new every morning. God does not have a morning, right? And so we're looking at these and we're going, there's something important about determining that I'm going to peace out today and doing it in the morning. You set your intention for the day. That's the whole premise behind Command Your Morning 1, Command Your Morning 2 that I just released, and Command Your Morning 3 that I'm already working on. And I've already got an idea for 4. And I'm like, stop, I don't even have these done, right? And so, but it's so important in the morning when I wake up, everything's fresh, everything's new. And sometimes you wake up and it takes just a minute for all of the other days to settle on you. And you go, oh yeah, I'm dealing with this. Oh yeah, I'm dealing with that. Oh yeah, I got to do this today. Oh, and then there's that. And this is going on. And we start let all those thoughts go through our head, right? And we need to, in the morning, we need to remind ourselves, God's mercies are new for me today. They are refreshed every morning. God doesn't need to refresh them. They're sure. They're continual. They don't go, his mercies, his love, his grace, and none of that goes away. He doesn't go to sleep and wake up and go, oh, do I have some mercy today? No, we gotta remind ourselves that we have the grace for today, and we got to do that every day, every morning when we wake up. We should go straight to the Word, and even if it's in our thoughts and not picking up the Bible, and even when those thoughts start berating our minds, and I even got an email this morning that was concerning for me, and on top of all the other stuff that's concerning for me, right? And so I immediately turned it to prayer. God, what do I do with this? And now I have to remind myself, God's got my this too. I don't present something to him and I go, oh wait, let me look. Hold on. Nope, that's not on the list for today. So can you bring that back like maybe Friday? Because I'm really booked for tomorrow. So today's taken care of, but no, he's not overbooked. He's not overscheduled. He's not even ahead of he is kind of basically ahead of the game because he's already walked through today for us. And he knows he's already planned to be with us today. And when we wake up in the morning, he's already planned to be with us tomorrow. And he's like, he pushed that button that said, I am always with you. And I want to find that button to push to go, I am always trusting you back, right? Tag, God, you're it, right? So, but we get that intention every morning. And we sit and we go, remind me every morning. I need to hear about your unfailing love. I need to hear about your new mercies every new morning, because every day has a whole new set of stuff to work through. Every day has a whole new set of circumstances that might be overwhelming or overcoming or emotionally burdensome, or we could go on with that list forever, right? But you know what? We could go on with the list of the things God done for us and the stories we have in this Bible where he's walked through stuff with other people first, and he's not going to abandon us today. That's why Peace Out this morning is about reminding ourselves that God's got us covered for one more day. Jesus left his peace and he never took it back. God created the world and he never wiped it out. This is a good thing for us, right? So we've got to trust again today. 2 parts. 1, remind ourselves, I need to hear of your unfailing love, your mercies. I need to hear these stories, these verses, these reminders every single morning, because I'm just going to trust you for one more day. That's what I'm going to do today. I'm going to peace out. I hope you join me. Have a great day. Hope I said something that made sense. I'll see you again tomorrow.